Let's sit down for a little chat today, not about some complicated new medicine or a difficult diet, but about something you've probably had in your kitchen for decades. It's that familiar dark bottle, often tucked away behind the flour and spices, called molasses. For most of us, it brings to mind the warm, spicy scent of gingerbread cookies or a pot of old-fashioned baked beans bubbling away on the stove. But what if I told you that this humble, dark syrup could be one of the most powerful tools for your well-being as you get older? What if it could help ease those aching joints that greet you every morning? What if it could give you the kind of deep, restful sleep you thought was a thing of the past? It might sound too simple to be true, but I want to talk to you today, like old friends at the kitchen table, and explain how this forgotten remedy might be the helping hand your body has been asking for. We won't get bogged down in confusing science, but we will uncover why this rich dark liquid is so profoundly different from its cousin, plain old white sugar, and how it can help you stop waking up in the middle of the night, feeling frustrated and wide awake. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, a wonderful gentleman in his late 70s. We'll call him Bill. Bill had the most incredible sweet tooth I've ever seen. Cakes, cookies, candies, you name it, he loved it. But Bill was also in a great deal of pain. His knees and his hands were stiff and achy with arthritis, making it hard to enjoy his morning walks or even hold a cup of coffee comfortably. Worse yet, he was exhausted. He'd tell me, "Doc, I fall asleep just fine." But every single night, 2 or 3 in the morning, my eyes pop open and my mind just starts racing. I haven't had a full night's sleep in years. During one of his checkups, I explained that the tremendous amount of white sugar in his diet was likely making his joint inflammation much worse and was almost certainly the cause of his broken sleep. I advised him to dramatically cut back on it. Bill just laughed and shook his head. With a twinkle in his eye, he said, "Doc, I appreciate the advice, I really do. But I'd rather die a happy man with a cookie in my hand than live a long, miserable life without a single sweet thing to enjoy." I understood completely. Telling someone like Bill to give up sweets is like telling him to give up sunshine. So I made him a different kind of deal. I said, "Bill, what if I told you there was a way to satisfy that sweet tooth that could actually make your joints feel better and help you sleep like a baby?" He looked at me skeptically, but he was listening. That's when I told him about blackstrap molasses. I asked him to try a little experiment. Instead of completely giving up sugar, I said, "Let's just swap out the type of sweet you're using. I want you to take 1 single teaspoon of blackstrap molasses every evening, maybe stirred into a little warm milk or decaf tea about 2 hours before bed." He was willing to try anything. He came back to see me a month later, and he was a changed man. The first thing he said was, "Doc, you're not going to believe this." He told me that within the first week, the constant, nagging pain in his hands and knees had lessened dramatically. He said he was waking up feeling less stiff than he had in a decade. But the real miracle, he told me, happened after about 2 weeks. For the first time he could remember, he slept straight through the night until his alarm went off. No more 3 a.m. wake-up calls, no more racing thoughts in the dead of night. It changed everything for him. He still enjoyed a sweet taste every day, but now it was a sweet taste that was healing him instead of hurting him. A sweet taste of history, the wisdom we forgot. Bill's story isn't just a lucky accident, it's rooted in history. For our parents and grandparents, and for generations before them, molasses was the go-to sweetener. Up until the late 1800s, molasses was the most popular sweetener in the United States, largely because it was plentiful and much more affordable than highly refined white sugar. People bought it by the gallon, not in small 12-ounce jars, and they used it for everything. It was stirred into coffee, drizzled over morning porridge, baked into breads, and used in savory dishes like baked beans and glazed hams. Think about this. When our ancestors used molasses, they were consuming a whole food. When a sugarcane plant grows, it pulls a rich array of vitamins and minerals from the soil. Things like iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, and manganese. To make molasses, the juice from the sugarcane is simply pressed and boiled. All of that natural, earthy goodness remains right there in the dark, rich syrup. But then, things changed. After World War I, new refining technologies made it easy and cheap to produce pure white sugar. To create those sparkling white crystals, the sugarcane juice goes through an intense industrial process that strips away every last bit of its nutritional value. All those wonderful minerals, the iron, the calcium, the magnesium, are completely removed and discarded. What's left behind is what we call empty calories, pure sweetness with zero health benefits. Molasses, especially blackstrap molasses, is literally all the good stuff that gets left behind in the refining process. It's just like the difference between a loaf of hearty, whole grain bread and a loaf of fluffy white bread. To make white bread, they strip away the most nutritious parts of the wheat, the bran and the germ. To make white sugar, they do the exact same thing. Our ancestors ate the whole grain version of sweetener. Today, we've been trained to prefer the stripped-down, less healthy version. By going back to molasses, we're not trying some new fad. We're reclaiming a piece of simple, time-tested wisdom. The blood sugar roller coaster. Why you feel tired and how molasses can help. One of the biggest health challenges we face as we get older is managing our blood sugar. Now, let's use a simple analogy to understand this. Think of a hormone in your body called insulin as a special key. When you eat, especially something with carbohydrates like bread or potatoes, that food turns into sugar in your bloodstream. Insulin is the key that's supposed to unlock the doors of your body's cells, letting that sugar in so the cells can use it for energy. As we age, the locks on those cell doors can get a little rusty. This is a very common condition known as insulin resistance. It means the insulin key doesn't work as well as it used to. Your body has to work much harder to get the doors open. This leads to a frustrating double whammy. You have too much sugar floating around in your blood, which isn't healthy, and at the same time, your cells are starving for energy. This is precisely why you might feel that heavy, tired slump in the afternoon, or a nagging fatigue that just won't go away. Your body has fuel, but it can't get it to where it's needed. This is where molasses performs its quiet magic. Unlike white sugar, which causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, molasses has a lower glycemic index, meaning it doesn't jolt your system in the same way. More importantly, the rich blend of minerals in molasses seems to help the whole system work better. In scientific studies, researchers were fascinated to find that when people consumed molasses with a meal, their bodies didn't need to produce as much insulin to do the job. Let me say that again, because it's the most important part. This simple, natural syrup helps your body work more efficiently. It's like putting a drop of oil on that rusty lock, allowing the insulin key to slide in and open the door with ease. For a body that's already working hard, molasses acts as a gentle, supportive friend. It doesn't just add its own energy. It helps your body better manage the energy from your entire meal. The real secret: how molasses can give you a full night's sleep. Now, let's talk about that maddening experience of waking up at 3 a.m. Does this sound familiar? You go to bed tired, fall asleep, and then like clockwork, you're wide awake in the dead of night. Your mind starts racing. You worry about everything under the sun, and deep sleep feels a million miles away. For millions of older adults, this isn't random. It's a direct result of your blood sugar dropping too low during the night. You see, your brain is incredibly busy while you sleep. It's cleaning house, filing memories, and running all your bodily functions. To do all this work, it needs a constant, steady supply of fuel, which is glucose, sugar. If your blood sugar level dips too low overnight, your body panics. It thinks it's in an emergency, so it hits an alarm button and releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. The job of these hormones is to wake up your liver and tell it to release some stored sugar, fast. And what do those stress hormones feel like? They feel like a jolt of anxiety and alertness. They are your fight or flight hormones, designed to wake you up and prepare you for danger. It's a brilliant survival system, but it's a total disaster for your sleep. The solution is to give your body a long-lasting, slow-burning fuel source before bed. This is where molasses is your absolute best friend. Taking a spoonful of molasses before bed is like putting a solid, heavy oak log on a fire. A cookie or a piece of candy is like throwing a piece of newspaper on the fire. It flares up quickly and then dies out, leading to a crash. Molasses, that heavy log, provides a slow, steady, gentle trickle of fuel that can last all night long. This keeps your blood sugar perfectly stable, so your body never feels the need to hit that panic button. That single teaspoon of blackstrap molasses, stirred into a warm, comforting beverage about 2 hours before bed, can be all it takes to provide your brain with the gentle fuel it needs to do its work, allowing you to sleep peacefully and deeply, right through until morning. As our bodies age, they need more of certain key minerals to stay strong and feel good. Blackstrap molasses is a true powerhouse of these essential nutrients, and because it's a natural food, your body can absorb them much more easily than from some synthetic pills. Magnesium, the great relaxer. Are you bothered by painful leg cramps that wake you up at night? Or perhaps twitching muscles or a general feeling of tension? That could be a sign you need more magnesium. Magnesium is nature's relaxation mineral. It helps calm the nervous system and allows your muscles to let go. Molasses is an excellent source, which is another reason it's so wonderful for sleep and easing muscle aches. Potassium for a healthy heart. Potassium is absolutely vital for maintaining healthy blood pressure and a steady heartbeat. It works with sodium to keep your body's fluids in balance. A spoonful of blackstrap molasses gives you a natural boost of this important mineral to support your cardiovascular health. Iron for true energy. Do you often feel that deep in your bones kind of tired? Weakness or shortness of breath? It might be low iron. Your body uses iron to build healthy red blood cells, which act like little delivery trucks carrying oxygen everywhere in your body. Without enough oxygen, you'll feel completely exhausted. Blackstrap molasses is a fantastic plant-based source of iron that can help build your blood and give you more sustained, natural energy. Calcium and manganese for strong bones. We all know how important calcium is for keeping our bones strong and preventing osteoporosis. While dairy is famous for it, blackstrap molasses contains a good amount of calcium too. It also provides manganese, another mineral that plays a key role in building strong bones and healthy joints. How to use molasses the right way, your simple guide. Are you ready to give this old-fashioned remedy a try? It couldn't be easier. Here's what you need to know to get the very best results. Always choose the best kind. When you're at the grocery store, look for a jar that says unsulfured blackstrap molasses. The word blackstrap is the most important part. It means the molasses comes from the third and final boiling of the sugarcane syrup, which makes it the most concentrated in minerals and the lowest in sugar. Unsulfured is also good to see. It means it was made from mature, sun-ripened sugarcane and doesn't contain sulfur dioxide, a preservative that can affect the taste. The dose is very important. Please remember, we are using this as a nutritional tool, not a sugary treat to be eaten with a big spoon. In this case, more is definitely not better. For general health and blood sugar with meals, start with just 1 teaspoon a day. You can stir it into your morning oatmeal, your coffee, or even into savory dishes like chili or a barbecue sauce. Many people find it helpful to take it with their lunch, especially if that meal includes starches like bread or rice. For deep, uninterrupted sleep, the real secret lies in the evening ritual. Take 1 teaspoon of blackstrap molasses about 2 hours before you plan to go to bed. How you take it can make all the difference, turning it into a soothing ritual to wind down your day. Here are 2 wonderful ways. The classic warm milk with molasses. Gently heat a cup of milk. Regular, lactose-free, or even almond milk works beautifully. Stir in your teaspoon of molasses until it dissolves completely. This creates a comforting, slightly caramel-flavored drink that feels like a warm hug in a mug. The combination of calcium and magnesium from both the milk and the molasses works together to relax your muscles and calm your nerves. Soothing ginger cinnamon tea with molasses. Brew a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea. Ginger tea is an excellent choice, as it's wonderful for digestion. Stir in your teaspoon of molasses and add a tiny pinch of cinnamon. This warming, spicy sweet drink is incredibly soothing. The ginger helps settle the stomach. Cinnamon helps balance blood sugar, and the molasses provides that deep, mineral-rich foundation for a night of peaceful rest. Finally, listen to your own body. Molasses is a gentle food, not a harsh drug. It works with your body over time. You may not notice a huge change on the very first night, but pay close attention to your sleep, your energy levels, and how your joints feel over the first week or 2. Like my patient Bill, you may be pleasantly surprised at how much better you feel. So the next time you see that dark jar of molasses, I hope you'll see it in a new light. It's more than just a baking ingredient. It's a jar of forgotten wisdom. It's a simple, inexpensive, and time-tested way to give your body the deep, nourishing minerals it's asking for, to help it manage energy more gently, and, most wonderfully of all, to help you finally get the deep, uninterrupted, and restorative sleep that you so richly deserve. And if this kind of gentle, natural tip feels useful to you, I'd be grateful if you give this video a like and subscribe. It helps more people discover these simple health secrets too. Wishing you calm evenings, steady energy, and the kind of deep, peaceful sleep that carries you into brighter mornings.